guys, happy Taco Tuesday. Today we are making some Chipotle turkey tacos. I apologize, my cameraman had to go to work today, like he's got a real job or something. So I am gonna record myself like this and I'll share it with you. And but I'm excited about this. It sounds like a really yummy, delicious taco dinner, something a little bit different, maybe a little bit lighter than what we're usually using. I have about a tablespoon of canola oil preheating in my pan on medium-high heat. And I am going to chop up one bell pepper, or a half a bell pepper. So when I cut up bell peppers, I like to just take, if you hold it upright and you just take your knife down the side, you can actually cut off of the veins. So just a little tip for you there. And since I'm cutting up these peppers and onions, I'm gonna go ahead and use my food chopper. I don't always use it for just small jobs, but I've got quite a few things, so. There we go. I want it to be kind of diced up fine because my family, my kids will be like, ew, why are there vegetables in my tacos? So I'm gonna dice those up pretty fine. And then an onion as well. And you guys, part of the trick to making dinner go a little bit faster is doing things like preheating the pan while I'm chopping up the vegetables. That's gonna make things go a little bit quicker so that dinner's on the table that much faster, and that I have more time with my family or to get a few things done around the house. Toss all that out of the way. All right, same thing with my onion. Chop it up fine. Taking out my frustrations on the chopper. Look how nicely diced that is. And this was a nice little onion, so it fits perfectly under there. If you have a bigger onion, you might have to quarter it. Like it's getting pretty hot, so I'm going to go ahead and add my pepper and onions to the pan. And I love these cutting mats. Like, look at how easy it is just to scoop it, or if it's something that's rolls, you can just go like that and just dump it in. And I have 2 cloves of garlic that I'm going to get with my garlic press. I have my little garlic tool. Press it and scrape it off. And pull out that little leftover garlic. I'm just putting stuff over in a garbage bowl over there. I didn't have room for it over here, so if I keep disappearing, that's what's happening. And another one. All right. And we are going to mix these around. I'm just going to go ahead and mix these up with my mix and chop, since I'm going to be using that for my meat. There's a bigger chunk. I'm going to pull that out. Ooh, now the onions are hitting me. They didn't make me cry while I was cutting them, but now they're got in the pan and they just all that hit me in the face. All right, so we are going to let that cook for a couple minutes, and while we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and cut up our Chipotle and adobo. These come in a little can about the same size as your tomato sauce, so I don't ever use a whole can in one time, so I will put them flat in a baggie and then just break off a little bit as I needed. So I broke off and defrosted this, and it ended up being 2 peppers. We just need 1 for this recipe, so I'm going to pull it out. And if you like a lot of heat, just go ahead and dice it up as it is. If you don't, you can actually score this down the middle, and then you can scrape out, there's actually not a lot of seeds in this one, but the veins are spicy too, so you can scrape out the seeds in the veins, and then only use the pepper, and then you can, if you're opening a fresh can or you have some in there, you can use the extra sauce too. And that's going to give you great flavor, a little bit of heat, but not the full bite of the adobo. Because the chipotles and adobo are actually smoked jalapenos in that yummy red sauce, so that's why they're going to be a little bit spicy. Go ahead and also I'm going to go ahead and measure out my spices so that they're ready to go when I am ready for them. So I need a tablespoon of chili powder, and I don't know that I'm going to have one in this container, so I have a fresh container ready to open. Nope. A little bit more. There we go, tablespoon of chili powder and 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. And cumin is such a good flavor, you guys. It's like smoky, and it's got this, like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's a very unique flavor, and it just really gives you some good taste in your tacos. Anytime I'm making like beans or anything with a Mexican flavor, I will add that in. I think that is ready for our meat. And I've got, I went ahead and bought the 2-pound package of ground meat because I'm going to use the rest for tomorrow for my spaghetti. But so I'm just put that in a container. But if you're buying meat in bulk and you want to freeze it, it's a really awesome idea. I started doing this recently where you squish it down flat in a baggie and then you freeze it flat, and then you can set them up for storage and just slide them in there, and it defrosts so much faster, you guys. So that's something I've been doing recently. We usually buy it in bulk and have the bricks, and that's nice too. But this was just something I've been doing lately, and it's really worked out. So I'm just gonna use my mix and chop. Scooch you in a little bit closer here since I'm not chopping anything up. Break down my meat, and I like to get it apart kind of in a single layer. Let me flying. To let it cook for like a few seconds to get it browned up, and then I'll add in a little bit more. While that is going, I am actually going to take my black beans, and I'm going to this is just a pop can, so I'm just going to pop the can, and I'm going to go rinse my beans real quick. Saw somebody outside. All right, my dog's barking. I'll break this up a little bit, and that's just leaving it there for a minute like that's just going to help it get a little bit more brown before I start breaking it into crumbles. Just keep breaking it apart. I'm going to go ahead and open up my tomato sauce too, and this one's not a pop can, so I get to show you our can opener. This is our smooth edge can opener, and I don't know who out there who has ever sliced their finger on the raw edge of a can, and it hurts so bad, and it takes forever to heal, it feels like, because it keeps, like, the way it's split, it just keeps opening. So this prevents that from happening. It actually goes under the lip here and pulls the whole can off instead of cutting it. So you just pop it on the side, and it's actually, I found a lot of people have said that it's a lot easier, maybe for someone who has arthritis or something, but can still do this twisting motion, but it's still a little bit easier to twist than a regular can opener. So then you take the little thing, and when you push the button, and you just put it on the edge and pull up, and that's how you use our smooth edge can opener. Here. The dog came back from barking at people, and now he's trying to knock the beans off the counter. making sure this gets nice and cooked. There's really not a whole lot more to it. I'll go ahead and heat up my tortillas because they will stay warm in this thing for a long time. It's pretty awesome. It will, this is our tortilla warmer, by the way. So you just pop them in the microwave, it steams, it collects the steam, and they'll stay warm for like up to an hour in here. This is not just for tortillas, it's awesome for pancakes. You can just put warm pancakes in there and it'll keep them warm. Or you can, if you ever freeze your pancakes, you can reheat them in this, and dinner rolls. We've used it for naan bread. So I just got a couple tortillas in there. I'm gonna put it on 30 seconds. If I find, I'm using corn tortillas today instead of the whole wheat tortillas. I find if I'm using corn tortillas, I like to put them in there for longer because, you know, corn tortillas have a tendency to break. So if I steam them in there for longer, then they are less likely to break. I'm not an expert or anything, that's just what works for me. I think I'm kind of taking out my frustrations on my mix and chop today too. I didn't think I was that frustrated, but maybe I am. I'm just going to cancel on that and keep it in there. Alright, our meat is looking nice and browned up, so I am going to add in our seasonings. And our tomato sauce, and our black beans. Oh, and my chipotles. When was I supposed to add those? Oh, yep, chipotle in. I'm gonna rinse off my knife here so that I can use it for my avocado without it getting too spicy. So these chipotles are just kind of going to melt in there because they're smoked, they're already cooked. Also turning the heat down to medium-low, and then we're going to let this simmer. This smells really good, you guys. Like once that chipotle hits the fan or hits the pan, and you guys, chipotle is really one of my favorite ingredients to use. It smells so good, it tastes so good. I love the smoked flavor and the spice to it. But it's also kind of a pain in the butt because it's messy. So I do use it, but I also a lot of times will just sub out our chipotle rub seasoning because you're getting all that flavor without any of the mess. Alright, so I'm gonna let that simmer for just a minute while I make our little avocado sauce, I guess. It's not really a full guacamole, but it could be, just add a few spices. So I'm just gonna cut around the avocado, and I know this is, and then you twist it sideways and pull it off, and I know this is the part that gets a lot of people caught up. Actually, I'm gonna not do that first. First, I'm just gonna score it, which is just cutting down the middle, making it, you don't wanna do this hard because you don't wanna cut through and cut your finger. A piece of skin there. Then you just take a spoon and go around the edge. And it will come right out. All right, this is the part that I know gets people caught up. So you just take your knife and whack it right out there on the pit, and you turn it and it will come out. Sometimes you might have to go in a second time if it's a really big one or it's not as ripe as this one. This is like perfectly ripe avocado. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for leaving this out just the exactly right amount of time. Sorry, I'm totally, sometimes, you know, you leave them out and you think they're still too hard, and then you go to use it and it gets all crusty. I've had good avocados lately though, so I'm not gonna complain. Drop the piece, I don't wanna lose any little bit. All right, and I am going to, oh, I took my cutting board away, let me cut real quick. Squeeze directly into my mini measure, or my mini Easy Read measuring cup from my citrus press, just to get to 1 tablespoon. I should not do that on a dark surface. It's hard to see when you're on the dark surface, but when you're... All right. 1 tablespoon. Pour it right in there. And I'm just gonna squish it up, and I'm just gonna use my mix and masher here. Did you know that the Mix and Chop had a cousin called the Mix and Masher? She is great for mashed potatoes, dishwasher safe. Great for guacamole. I'm gonna give this another little stir. Oh man, it smells good. I can't wait to eat you. You guys, I'm using my 12-inch skillet for this. You're gonna want a big skillet because there's a lot of food in here. Like this is, I mean, adding the beans, which I did add the whole can of beans. You're only supposed to add a cup, but I just went ahead and added the whole can because my kids love beans. I mean, that just doubled the food that we have. So we're gonna have a lot of leftovers. I'm excited to eat that on a salad too. So here we go. We heated these up a few minutes ago, and look, I don't know, there's still steam coming out. Can you see that? Oh, I think you can. Cool. So grab a plate. Go ahead and turn this off. Grab a tortilla and a little bit of our filling and a little bit of our avocado. And also, I'm probably gonna have to double that because that's not enough for my family. We go through avocados like crazy. All right, give it a taste test. This is the first time I made this, so I assumed it was gonna be delicious because it looks delicious. So good, make this one. Bye.